This time I will be knitting a rose flower. For work, you need a ball of yarn, a pair of knitting needles, and a tapestry needle. To begin, make a slip knot. This is our first cast on stitch. And with the cable cast on method, cast on 12 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one, 12. Here on my main needle I have 13 stitches. Begin knitting the first row. Right side, knit the edge stitch, then knit each stitch across, and purl the last edge stitch. Turn the work, row 2 wrong side, slip the first stitch purlwise, then purl each stitch till the end. And the last one. Turn to the right side, row 3, slip the first stitch, knit each stitch till the last one, and purl the last stitch. Turn, row 4 wrong side, slip the first stitch and purl each stitch across. Turn the work row 5, continue and knit 4 more rows of stockinette, where in every row I slip the first stitch and purl the last one for the edge. Turn to the wrong side, row 6. It is a row of purl stitches. Turn again, row 7 on the right side. Slip the first stitch and knit each stitch across the row. Purl the last stitch. Again, turn and work row 8. Slip the first stitch and purl each stitch till the end of this row. Now turn to the right side, row 9. Slip the first stitch purlwise, then knit 3 together. Then bring 2 loops that are on the working needle back onto the main needle and pull the second loop through the first one. Then continue, knit 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and purl the last stitch. Turn to the wrong side, row 10, slip the first stitch and purl 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last one, 9. Turn to the right side, row 11. Now we need to make the increase. From this first stitch we need to make 4. For this, knit this first stitch into the back leg, then yarn over, again knit the same stitch into the back leg. I have made 3 stitches of 1. Now knit the same stitch into the front leg to make the 4th stitch. Then continue, knit 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and purl the last stitch. Turn to the wrong side, row 12, slip the first stitch and purl 12. Work till the end of this row. Purl into the yarn over as well. Then turn to the right side and work 6 more rows of stockinette. This is the row 13. I remind you that for the edge, I slip the first and purl the last stitch in every row. This is row 14. Now turn row 15, slip the first stitch, knit 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and purl the last stitch. Turn row 16, slip the first stitch and purl 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, turn the work, row 17. This is the right side. Slip the first stitch and knit 11. And then purl the last stitch. Then turn row 18. Slip the first stitch and purl each stitch across the row. Now turn and bind off all of the stitches by knitting 2 together. I am working on the right side. While binding off, make loose stitches and work until you have one loop on the main needle. That's it, I bound off all of the stitches. The first petal of my flower is ready. We need to continue and make 3 more petals like this first one. So to begin the second petal, cast on 12 more stitches to your main needle with the cable cast on method. And then knit the second petal and the next 2 ones following the same instructions. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the last one, 13. I have 13 stitches on my main needle. Knit the first row, knit the edge stitch in the beginning, then knit 11, and purl the last stitch. Once you complete 8 rows of stockinette, continue on the right side rows, do decrease and then increase, and again work 6 more rows of stockinette. Continue, complete this petal and knit 2 more following the same pattern. Here I'm finishing the last 4th petal. I'm binding all the stitches working on the right side. This is the decrease bind off by knitting 2 together. Remember, make loose stitches here. Once you complete the last petal, cut the yarn, leaving a tail about 20 centimeters long, and pull the last loop all the way through the stitch. Here are my 4 petals. Now continue, work with the tapestry needle to form the flower. I thread the yarn tail into the needle. Now, before we begin to do any stitches, we need to form the flower. Actually, you can make many different flowers of these petals. I'm trying to make a rose flower. For this, I'm collecting the petals on the bottom like this. Here my rose is ready. Now, to keep all of the petals in this position, I just need to sew them on the bottom. Here you need to work through all petals. Do not miss the ones that are inside. Here, if you think you need to make some stitches in the middle of the flower, you can do it. Now I have my white rose ready. It has 4 petals. Before I made this red 3-petal flower, this one has 4 petals. Petals in my red flower I knitted the same way shown in this tutorial. You can see the difference between these 2 flowers, and maybe for your flower you will choose to make even more than 4 petals. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe to our channel for more free tutorials.